Today on Morning Drive, the #1 player in the world is in a familiar position sitting atop a crowded PGA Tour leaderboard. We've got all the highlights from Pebble Beach and who could prevent DJ from winning on the Monterey Peninsula for the 3rd time in his career. And it's our final day of Wellness Week. It's time to work on your diet, mind, and your body as we get you into your best golf shape. Plus, the Olympic Games are underway in Pyeongchang. Coming up, we hear from 5-time major winner Se-Ri Pak, who had the honor of carrying out the South Korean flag at the opening ceremony.
Last year, I was the captain of golf Olympic team, but this is different. It's very exciting.
All that and more is next on this Sunday, February 11th, 2018. Well, good morning, everyone. Honored to have you starting off your Sunday with us in studio. AP Lauren Thompson, a PGA Tour winner, and Robert Dameron, Paige McKenzie, Gary Williams, and Ewan Porter coming up in just a few moments. Now, something that got a lot of traction yesterday on social media, this video. Now, Dameron, did you see this? Nick Faldo, part of that broadcast, of course, for the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, showing off in Jim Nance's backyard. How does he do? Well, he still has it, and ace as the crowd goes wild. Jim Nance jumping up there to join him.
Well, I've got two things to say about that. One, it does not count as official hole-in-one. It's not part of a round of golf. And there's a bunch of other balls up there. He may have hit 7 or 8 or 9, who knows. But two, and the more important, Jim Nance has too much money. He just makes too much. You're not supposed to have a hole like that in your backyard, right? In Monterey, California. Jeez.
Come on, we all want the game in our backyard. I think it's pretty cool. And rumor has it that there's a rock next to the tee box that everyone who gets an ace on that same shot, they get their name inscribed in it. Pretty cool stuff as we welcome in the rest of our crew. Gary Williams, Ewan Porter, Paige McKenzie. I need to renovate my backyard. That's some cool stuff.
Well, the only thing I'll say, the hole is one thing. Is that a driveway or a parking lot?
I was
How many cars does he have in his driveway?
You noticed that? I noticed the camo blazer. What was he wearing?
Well, had to be a dare.
Faldo.
Had to be a dare.
I did notice the wine.
We're all just jealous of his holy.
I know.
That's true.
And we didn't get the invite.
That's right. What is happening now? Well, Dustin Johnson's looking to win again on the Monterey Peninsula. He will share the 54-hole lead going into the final round alongside a guy who almost shot 59 yesterday, and we will get to him. But let's take a look at some of the highlights page. Let's start with our defending champion playing a very awkward number, 84 yards here on his closing hole.
Yeah, and he talked a little bit about trying to find something this week and started to get it in his swing after a missed cut last week. And I'll say, well played.
Yeah, shot 70, 7 back at 7 under par. Now you're in Phil Mickelson playing Pebble Beach. Also this bunker shot on the par 5 second.
Yeah, place he's very comfortable, Phil, out of the bunkers. He's been so good over the course of his career and almost hold that for an eagle.
What did you say when you saw that? He pulled it?
He pulled it, yeah. Well,
yes,
he was aiming for the hole.
How about Jason Day? You look at him, it reminds me a lot also of Steve Stricker.
Yeah,
the way that he chips the golf ball.
Very straight-armed pitch shot. A lot of folks either choose to use more hands or more arms, and for Jason Day, more arms works.
Well, he would make that get to 11 under par. Let's stay with him. These are, on percentage, the best players in the world make about 5% of these.
And a lot of guys have been struggling with the 2 and 3 footers this week at these golf courses, but Jason Day maybe about 55 feet.
He shot 69. He's 2 back. The guy who was the story of the day playing over at Monterey Peninsula, Ted Potter Jr., everything was going in.
Yeah, started the front 9, 7 under with 5 birdies and an eagle.
Now we get to the par 5, 6 this time, or short birdie putt, and you were mentioning the closer you got to the hole, the harder it seemed.
Yeah, no problems for Ted Potter yesterday. That putt there took him to 16 under, 11 under for the day, but unfortunately he bogeyed his last 2 holes for 62.
Yeah, unfortunate 62. His best round, though, of his PGA Tour career. We mentioned Dustin Johnson here on the short 4th. Using gravity.
And got off to a fast start. He kind of looked that he may be trying to separate himself a little bit from the field early.
Well, that would get him to 14 under par. Now here he is on the 7th in an area that everyone has said it, but he has become a consistently good putter.
His putting and his wedge play the last 18 months has improved out of sight, and that's why Dustin's #1 in the world and winning tournaments left, right, and centre.
You're exactly right. So you see the two tied at the top. They will play together. Ted Potter Jr. has won on the PGA Tour, but he's never played in the final group on the final day. Day and Merritt, they are 2 shots back. So let's start with Dustin Johnson. And you both played at the highest level. You know it is dangerous to be presumptuous in this game, especially over the course of just one 18-hole round. But do you assume and presume that Dustin Johnson is going to win?
No. But I can make a good case for why. Why he would. And we've talked about his ball striking, we've talked about his wedges, we've talked about his putting, but one of the things that I think we're really starting to see set himself apart from other people is his mental game. And I know we're looking at his 54-hole co-leads and leads, but I don't put a lot of merit into that. I look at the performance coming down the stretch, and I know he's lost some leads. But when we go back, not in too far recent history at the Tournament of Champions and how he just stepped on the accelerator on Sunday and really walked away with a win, I think you're starting to see a maturation in the mental side of what Dustin Johnson does as well.
Now, I know, she mentioned history. History shows that the heavyweight doesn't always throw the last punch and knock out the underdog.
Love a good underdog story. Ted Potter is currently ranked 246 in the world, but just 2 months ago, Cameron Davis was ranked 1,494 when he won the Australian Open and beat Jason Day and Jordan Spieth down the stretch. Ben Curtis, number 392 when he won the Open in 03. And perhaps the biggest shock of them all was in 2001, a guy called Robert Dameron beat Tiger Woods down the stretch at the Byron Nelson Classic.
Stranger things have happened.
But to be honest, Ted Potter, he has won on the PGA Tour before. Of course, Dustin Johnson is the favourite, but 18 holes, Pebble Beach, Jason Day breathing down their necks. I think we're in for an exciting finish.
Yeah, one thing that we have seen on this golf course on the final day, since 2000, 10 of the 54-hole leaders have gone on and won. Being out in front has been a good thing there.
It has. Even though the golf course is going to have great conditions with the weather, it's not a course that we're seeing historically low scores this week. It's playing a little bit firmer, small greens, bumpy towards the end of the day with all the traffic that's gone on. So it is going to be more difficult to chase because of that.
Yeah, we will wait until the Nelson week to show the leaderboard when Dameron won. We do it every year. It's contractually obligated, right, Robert, that we have to show it? All the Hall of Famers that you beat that day?
I have to have fun once in a while and relive my old past glory, don't I? Aren't I allowed that once in a while?
Once a year.
Once a year.
But just
Christmas.
once a year.
Yes.
That's it. Well, something else that we do multiple times a year with this PGA Tour winner is do watch and learn lessons. Now, Dameron, you were taking notes yesterday. Dustin Johnson, he's an easy one to go to for lessons for the rest of us. But this on the 16th hole.
This is interesting because, we watch Dustin swing all the time. He's on the leaderboard a lot. He's in the telecast a lot. And we all know, let's go ahead and roll it to the top here. We all know, and we talk about it all the time, about his steep bowed wrist at the top. And there's a few other players that do it. He does it probably more than anyone. We've seen this. We all know about it. The question is, what does he do afterwards? How does he get it back to impact?
That's the problem I've had when I'm trying to imitate him a little bit.
Well, if you do a normal release, you would hit it left, almost hit your left leg. So let's roll it on the way down. Still bowed. Impact, it flattens out, but here's where things get interesting. It's completely cupped under now. So what most amateurs would think as a release would be this way, releasing the toe of the club. What Dustin does, all good closed-faced players do, they release it coming in, it's flat, and it cups under this way. So the left hand works that
really
way.
Extreme action.
It's an odd thing. If you're going to try it on the range, you're going to really miss-hit a few shots early till you get the handle of it. But that's just how he does it. If he doesn't cup that wrist back, the ball's going to go left of this tree right here, and he's not Dustin Johnson anymore.
Exactly. Okay, now he's not the only one on the top of that leaderboard out the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Ted Potter Jr., part of 59 Watch yesterday, if you were checking this out. But him with this putt, Robert.
Well, so we saw a lot on the telecast, a lot of short putts missed in Monterey Peninsula and those greens. They're really tough. They're that nasty Poe. So let's watch how he makes this. He was just on fire with the putter until the last couple holes. But watch, did you see that one hop? Now we've got another bounce right there, and then it zigzags, it bounces out, and still somehow goes in like Harry Potter made that putt, not Ted Potter. Here's the deal. you cannot make a putt go in. You cannot force
We may try and will it to go in.
You may try, you may. So your goal is, especially the worst of the greens, is to hit a solid putt and commit to your line. If you're trying to force the ball in the hole, you're going to be disappointed a lot. If you try to hit a good solid putt and commit to the line, you're going to make your share and you're going to be a lot happier.
Yep. Frustration on those greens. A lot of the players dealt with it. This guy, a four-time major champion, and Rory McIlroy, that was part of his frustration earlier in the round. But this from the bunker.
And just listen to this. You hear sand and then ball. It's strange for a bladed bunker shot. So listen to this. You heard it wasn't just ball first. It was a little sand and then ball. So what happened was he thought it was softer underneath than it was. So if you get the idea that it might be firmer underneath and I'm not going to be able to dig, all you do is normally you'd have an open club face, close it down just a little so the leading edge digs more, which is usually what you don't want, but you're taking insurance against that skipping out of the bunker, hitting the ball, sending it way long.
Exactly. Rory out there with his dad. It was his debut in this event. A lot of knowledge goes with playing this course and playing this event, and more and more and more. Hopefully Rory will have a second stab at it, looking at future seasons as we get you back to Gary Williams.
Yeah, Lauren, if you look closely, his dad turned his back on his son. You just let me down, son. It's hilarious. How about a little Wild Kingdom? You know, kangaroos are a fascinating animal. I've never been up close. Are they playing or are they fighting? Ewan, we defer to you.
They're having a little playful fight there. They'll be best friends again in a second.